Golair, and welcome to the Loaf of Bread GAA podcast, slicing into the GAA of the past, present and future. Join me, Jason Keelan, as we cut into the largest loaf of bread known to mankind. On Slice 14 this week, I have the chats with three recent All-Ireland winners from County Meath, Sarah Powderly, Shauna Ennis, and the Intermediate Player of the Year 2020, Vikki Wall. They joined the podcast this week for the chats and the crack. We chat everything from winning the 2020 All-Ireland final with Meath, the attitude of muinteoir Shauna Ennis to the Leaving Cert in a memorable speech, Sarah getting clamped, 40-point hammerings against Cork, Vikki's quick trip to Australia and back, working with TG Carr, and much, much more, and some abuse of poor Shauna in between. But first, as always, let's take the quick trip through the ladies' home of County Meath. Bon Sultas. Today we travel down the N4 from Zach Muradi's Leitrim to the county of Meath for the second time, following on from our chat with Mickey Burke and Sean Tobin. Sarah Powderly plies her trade with Navan O'Mahony's GAA in the county. Her club is the town rival of Sean Tobin's Simonstown Gales. Sean was on the pod with Mickey in Slice 7 and spoke of the rivalry. Navan O'Mahony's GAA was founded in 1948 as a result of the original Navan Pearse O'Mahony's GAA club. Pearse O'Mahony was a local MP in the area, but originally born in County Kerry to a mother from Newtown Mount Kennedy in Wicklow. O'Mahony's grandfather was the solicitor of a man named Daniel O'Connell, who would become the famed liberator, a man who led the push for Catholic emancipation in Ireland. O'Mahony's mother remarried after the death of her husband and moved to England, where O'Mahony himself had a comfortable upbringing attending the famous rugby school and then Oxford University. It was when he inherited an estate in County Wicklow that he returned to Ireland. Upon the encouragement of his good friend, an MP by the name of Charles Stewart Parnell, O'Mahony ran in North Meath and was unanimously elected. He would lose a seat to another well-known name, Michael Davitt of the Land League and the GAA. His death occurred aged 80 in 1930. Other than the Navan club being named after him, you will also find O'Mahony Street in Bulgaria's capital, Sofia, in honour of the orphanage he and his second wife founded at the time of their travel. It also earned him an Order of Merit title from King Ferdinand. Not long later, the shooting of Ferdinand in Sarajevo would lead to the start of World War I. Navan O'Mahony's hold 20 county titles in senior men's football, making them the most successful. In 2019, the ladies won the Leinster Junior title with a 1-goal win over Kilcock of Kildare on a scoreline of 3-9 to 2-9, with Sarah Powderly running the show from centre half-back and player of the match, Aoibhinn Leahy, hitting 1-3 from play herself. We can expect O'Mahony's to continue to compete at the highest level for many years to come. Shauna Ennis' club, Na Fianna, are located in Enfield. Oscoilga, the town, is known as An Bóthar Bui, the Yellow Road. Theories on the bizarre name of the town range from the yellow ragworth on the roadside to the yellow mud mixed with rain on the road from the passing stagecoaches of yesteryear. Around 1807, the use of the Royal Canal as a transport route from Dublin made Enfield a very important place in the trading circles. The area had previously been considered one of the 5 major routes to the seat of the High Kings of Ireland at Tara in County Meath. The Na Fianna club started out as Enfield Football Club in 1904. Their early days saw them play the lack of the old parish rule well by having players from neighbouring Longwood, Johnstown Bridge, Summerhill, Rathcore and Newtown, to name a few. The club won their first junior title in 1919 but had to wait till 1964 to win it again. A brief stint in the 70s with neighbouring Rathmaline didn't last. It was in the year 2000 that Na Fianna formed from the Enfield Football Club. In 2006 the hurlers won the County Intermediate Championship, and 3 years later the ladies claimed the Intermediate Football title, and another 3 later the club were crowned Men's Intermediate Champions. While they may not have the major list of successes of the likes of O'Mahony's, they are certainly a strong force in Meath GAA. And finally, to Dunboyne, home of the 2020 Intermediate Player of the Year Vikki Wall, among many others. The town is known as Dunbuina, the stronghold of Bui, who was the wife of the god Loaf. It is a growing commuter area for nearby Dublin and other areas. The famous Dunboyne Castle is known countrywide. Originally the castle was home to the Butler family, an Anglo dynasty part of the old Kingdom of Ireland. The town was also a major area for rebels during the events of 1798 and indeed the War of Independence in Ireland. In more modern times, those old enough to remember the second ever Irish TV-made drama, The Reardons, may not know that the fictional town of Leaside, County Kilkenny, is actually Dunboyne. But of all the history, one iconic figure stands out for the GAA, Sean Boylan. The Dunboyne man still holds the record for the longest serving county manager in history of 23 years, while also being the only person in Irish history to be awarded the freedom of County Meath. His own father, also Sean, was a prominent member of the fight for freedom during the Irish War of Independence. The now 71-year-old herbalist won the All-Ireland on 4 occasions with Meath in the 80s and 90s. The Leinster win in 2001 meant that he managed the county to honours in 3 different decades and 2 different millennia. Dunboyne started out as a hurling club in 1902 and didn't take up football till the late 40s before becoming St Peter's Dunboyne in 52. The ladies team in Dunboyne remains the one and only club specifically for ladies football, and they run their own ship. After successes at junior and intermediate levels at both county and national levels in recent years, the ladies reached the pinnacle with their first ever senior football title win over Simonstown Gales in September 2020 on a scoreline of 15 points to 10. Full forward Emma Duggan notched 7 on the day, with Vikki getting 2 in the second half. In truth, they had winners in every position on the pitch that day. At county level, Shauna, Sarah and Vikki were all part of the Meath setup at various stages. Sarah made her debut in 2013 against Down, and even showed her resilience by coming back from a devastating ACL injury in 2018 to somehow play a role in the final defeat to Tyrone. Vikki made her debut in 2014 against Tyrone, but had also been part of the Meath setup for many years, including a minor All-Ireland win. Vikki's famed left foot and agility made her a household name in recent times. Shauna's importance for Meath was rewarded with the vice-captaincy role, having also experienced the heartache of back-to-back All-Ireland final defeats in 18 and 19. But in 2020, the ladies reached the summit of inter-county level themselves with a victory over my own Westmeath ladies in a remarkable game. Westmeath went goal crazy early on, scoring 3 in quick succession from Anna Jones and Irish soccer international Lucy McCartan, and then added a 4th after half time. Despite losing Vikki's sister Sarah to injury, Meath kicked on. Goals by Vikki and Bridgetta Lynch, combined with scores from Emma Duggan and Championship top scorer Stacey Grimes, helped Meath to win the Mary Quinn Cup on a scoreline of 217 to 4-5. And so it is from there that they've kicked on and will hopefully kick on again once the COVID goes away. And so let's meet the All-Ireland champions themselves. Navan O'Mahony's Sarah Powderly, Dunboyne's Vikki Wall and Nafiana's Shauna Ennis. Vikki, how's the form?
Not too bad. How
are you getting on?
Yeah, grand, yeah, just busy with college and that kind of stuff, but nothing else going on really.
Oh yeah, same as myself, so I'm going to take these jokes off because they're doing my head in, sorry. How's all in Dunboyne?
Yeah, all's good, yeah.
Yeah, I used to, up until about a year ago, I was living in Clonsilla, so it wasn't a million miles away.
Yeah, I've moved out myself. I'm just on the Navan Road, so only about 10 or 15 minutes away from Dunboyne.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's not too bad.
I used to live in Ashtown as well before that.
yeah, I'm literally just in Ashington Heath, so just up from the roundabout in Ashtown. Yeah.
Oh yeah, deadly. Yeah, it's a nice spot around there. It's become so busy though as well. It's like
Jesus, on the nice days, the Phoenix Park is absolutely packed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's mental. Yeah.
I teach in Chapel Is it just literally like the far side of the park, so.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's grand. It's not the
what
worst.
What do you teach?
Primary school. So bit of everything, you know.
Are you back this week?
I'm back next Monday. As in, what day is today? Monday. Yeah, this day week.
Monday week. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back now at this stage. So
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm done with it now. Shauna, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, y'all, how are you?
Avian is college, I presume, is she?
Yeah, she's a bit stressed, I think, at the minute. She texted me twice today saying she wouldn't make it.
That's fine, yeah, that's grand. No, I didn't. I said, all right, don't put any pressure on her. So it's grand. Yeah, look, you're very good at Trevi for coming on and giving up some of your evening. I won't keep you too long, don't worry. and I hope all is well in different parts of Meath. I put out my Westmeath top behind, but look, I can take it down if it's sure. Look, you won anyway. There's no point in me taking it down. I'll leave it up for now. So, yeah, no, I've this is going well. The podcast just since I started, I'm job sharing. I was saying to Vikki, I teach up in Dublin, so I job share week on, week off this year since we moved back home to Mullingar. It's obviously a lot cheaper than Dublin, so so I didn't have to work full time. So I've kind of just done the week on, week off, and this was something with the love of the history in the GAA that I just wanted to start years ago, and I suppose it was inspired by Bresley down the road and a few others to have a go at it. So yeah, it's been great so far, and the chats are very different to like most of the other GAA ones. They're a bit of crack, like as well as GAA stuff, like the Westmeath Camogie girls one now is out on Thursday, and there's the last line one the girl said was like, when people listen to this, they'll wonder how in the name of Jesus we won All Ireland, because like they just spent the time fighting over where their team holiday was in Spain, robbing flower pots.
Oh, we'd have plenty about that now, I'm sure.
Grand, yeah. Oh, their stories went from that to, I did barely said a word. Like it was fighting over snack boxes outside Chippers, robbing flower pots out in nightclubs. So I was like, do you want to talk about Camogie or will you just leave it be? So yeah, it was great crack in the end. So yeah, look, I won't keep us too long. It's just I have a couple of the big screen up here I have to look up at. I have a couple of bits scribbled down, and then there's a quick fire round at the end if the three of you are happy to have a go at it. It's not as quick. I've discovered after like 20 different chats, it's really not that quick fire. I had who was it? Anne-Marie Guinan was on the other week, and I'd say she was about 30, 40 seconds trying to give an answer to one of the questions. So, but don't worry, I can edit all that out anyway if you're stuck for answers. So, yeah. Firstly, I suppose, how were the celebrations after that day in Croke Park? I'll get that out of the way first because that's just going to sicken me. So
it would have been a lot tamer than we would have hoped for, but we definitely made the most of what we could, I think. Don't know what you think about that one, Shauna.
Yeah, like it was exactly like it was a lot tamer, but it was really nice because it was just the team. Obviously, we couldn't have really family or friends at it, so it was literally just the 30 odd of us. And we were just stuck together for about 3 or 4 days, which was really nice.
Separation anxiety after.
Yeah, a lot of separation anxiety. I couldn't deal with it. Like, it pushed me over the edge, to be honest.
I think the new Grange that evening was nice too, that it was just us nearly.
Is that where you were? Did you go to hotel?
Yeah, like
that was where my Debs was on.
The years before, like, you know, when like there's other people there, you kind of get separated. But I think because it was just us, it was nice. Like.
Yeah, it was really nice. We stopped off on the way home in a few of the towns that kind of led us to Navan as such. So it was Dunboyne, Ratoath, and stopping and shopping. Yeah, we did Ashburn and stuff like that. So I know Dunboyne was the first, and my mum was plaguing me to get off, and I was kind of running up to Derek on the bus saying like, "Can we stop for like 5 minutes just so we can run off?" And Jesus, we definitely didn't expect the amount of people that were there. I think there was literally, I got up back in the bus and I felt like crying. I was like, oh God, that was so emotional. So that was really nice as well to do. I think what Sarah said as well, like we were all together literally, and nobody got separated talking to parents or family or anything like that. And it would have been nice to be able to have them there, but I think the fact that we were stuck together was kind of nice in the end.
Yeah. Did you have any bonfires or anything? Because the Up to Ard lads, when I had them on, they were you eager to get out and get home, or was it you were happy enough to hang around Croke Park for a while? Or
they had a bit of trouble getting us out of the dressing room. I think they were sort of banging on the door because you only have, you know, a certain amount of time. They're like, get out, like you have to leave or whatever. Probably not as much this year as the other years because there wasn't a crowd, so it probably wasn't as bad. But yeah, sure, we were jumping around up on top of everything in the dressing room. We didn't want to leave.
I missed all the opportunities. I was outside at Moira, so I missed all them. I was getting rushed back in as soon as we finished, so everyone was kind of leaving the dressing room by the time I was coming back in.
Yeah.
I saw you. Saw you pictures, Vikki. All right, in the kind of tunnel area with the cup up. There's about 40 different photos of you. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You missed some of the celebrations, all right. So and what was Shauna? I have to ask you as well, since you're a teacher yourself. What was the reception like in Kilcloon National School? Because I know it, all right. My mate is one of the girls I work with is married to a man from Kilcloon. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was so nice. So obviously I had my principal warned I wouldn't be seen on the Monday. And it was so strange because we were going into the Christmas holidays, obviously. So we only had the Monday and the half day and the Tuesday. So I did make a short appearance on the Tuesday. And I sort of got this fabulous sort of guard of honor by all the kids, and yeah, it was lovely. It was so nice. I'm so glad I got to go in because obviously we've been off ever since. So, yeah.
It's been strange, all right. Yes. I have to ask you as well, though. You were Skull were a captain as well, and you said, "Never mind the Leaving Cert. This is what we've been working towards for the last 5 years." That's not very teachery, is it?
You're cut rapid, Shauna.
Doing a bit of research there, were you?
A little bit has to be done. You have to find these fun stories, and that just happened to pop up out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, Shauna's a fan of a picture board, aren't you, as well, Shauna, with your what did you have from your dreams and ambitions about something to do with a cat in All Ireland?
Oh, go on, yeah, tell us that.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that was another one. I get roasted. I'm the one who gets roasted all the time. I don't know. I don't bring it on myself. It just happens. Yeah. But I got a lot of stick for that one, all right, back in a long time ago now since I did my Leaving Cert. But yeah, we had a great year that year. Obviously we were very young, so we didn't do much celebrating, but yeah, I got a lot of stick for that afterwards.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you're in the Fianna as well. It's in Enfield, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's Enfield, Baconstown, Rathmaline. I'm actually a Rathmaline woman, so I'm more of the hurling territory.
Out by Gavin Riley.
Yeah.
The man I went to school with, Gavin, yeah.
Yeah, I would have went to the same primary school as him. He would have been a few years ahead of me now. I wouldn't know him well, but yeah.
No, myself and Gavin were in Finians together, so that's how I know him. So yeah, no, it's just I was wondering. My godmother is an Enfield woman, and I'll go on to a little bit of football. I suppose I'll stop abusing Shauna for a couple of minutes. So,
thanks. It's okay.
I'll come back to you. Don't worry, I'm not finished yet. Sarah, in 2018 and 2019, you guys fell at the last hurdle. Why did you have to wait for Westmeath to come along before you decided to win? You couldn't have done it to someone else, no?
I don't know. I think we would have took it the first year, the second year we got it anyway. And I think, I don't know, against Tipperary, I think we just fell short a little because I think, I thought we put in a really good performance that day, and probably just getting over the line was it just didn't happen. And then the first year, I think we got in a bit of awe by about Crow Park and just the surroundings and the crowds. I think that got us nearly in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but we always said that we're coming back third time lucky. It was hopefully going to be it.
Yeah, you just picked the wrong team to beat that time. That was the only thing. But anyway, we won't talk about that too much. Vikki, as the player of the intermediate player of the year 2020, the whole team, the intermediate team, had 7 Meath women from Monica and goals up to, was it Stacey Grimes, a corner forward, I think. Was it just the best year you've had at Meath, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to compare it to other years because probably wouldn't have had much success. But yeah, no, it was absolutely unbelievable. And I suppose seeing the 7 girls there, I mean, personally, I probably would have chosen a few more in a few different positions. But I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable that we have that Meath representation. And for a few years we probably weren't performing and showing our best. So it's good that people are finally seeing the Meath team for what it is.
Yeah, definitely, yes. And what did you make, Shauna, of the start of the final against Westmeath? Because I think the whole GAA world was kind of like, is this a soccer match the Westmeath are playing, or is it GAA? Because it was chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic. Look, it wasn't the start we planned on, but I think we did very well in not losing our heads. And we never panicked at any stage. Did I panic at any stage that I think we weren't going to win? I still believe that we were going to win. So probably we were. I've heard Moira actually say in other interviews, and I agree with her. I think we were so eager to go at Westmeath in the first few minutes that we all literally just went. Everyone went, and we left this big gap at the back, and it was turned over. I know the first time it was turned over, it just went over our heads. So yeah, look, it wasn't start we planned on, but it finished up all right in the end.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
You don't think, Shauna, you panicked a little bit when remember the first goal went in and who was it, Moira turned around and she was like, why is everyone up here? And you were literally like, I don't know.
I don't recall that. I actually don't remember. When was that? After the first goal?
After the first goal went overhead and Moira looked around and our whole half-back line was in the full forward line, like literally. And we were like, why is up here? And you're all like, I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't good. After the second or after the third goal, she turned to me and she was like, maybe you should just take that.
Are you not the vice captain of the team now?
Pardon?
Are you not the vice captain of the team?
Yeah, I am. But Moira is the captain, obviously. Yeah. So she was sort of like, maybe she just like every time goal went in, she was like, just further. Like I was literally nearly back on the goal line by the end of it. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a strange game, all right, the start of it, because did you said yourself, Shauna, did you the same, Sarah, that you believed you were never going to lose, even despite the 3 goals that Westmeath decided to score at the start?
I think every time that we went behind, there was never that fear of, it was going to happen again. I don't know about the other Vikki and Shauna, but I always felt, we're going to come back. I just felt on the day it was going to be our day. And for the whole game, every time it was like a setback, I was like, it's okay, we're going to bounce back. And thankfully we did.
Yeah. And you felt the same, Vikki?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we talked a lot about before the match playing with absolutely no fear. I've said before in a few interviews, we'd lost the 2 All-Irelands and we kind of knew that life goes on whether you wanted to or not, no matter how devastated you are. So I think, we played with a bit of fearlessness, and I suppose in the first 15 minutes that probably got the better of us. But I think towards the end that I personally don't think I really had a fear of losing again. I think I'd kind of known that we would bounce back regardless, and it probably would have hurt a lot to have lost 3 times in a row, and you probably think where you go from there. But I think on the day we went out and we just probably weren't afraid to lose. I think that was probably the difference. Yeah,
you've come a long way as well, especially Sarah. This will tell you the level of my research. Back in 2015 you lost by like 40 points to Cork, but was that your worst moment of that year, or was it when you got clamped?
I think that was one of the worst. That was a low day, I think. I just remember the week before that we were looking for players to play. I think we pulled a few players from, I don't even know what clubs, or it was just whoever wanted to play to come and play. I just remember going down in the bus and being like, why are we going to do that? Yeah. Like, it's only going to be one way. And I think, Sean, I remember you being full back and me sweeping that day. Like, that's the way things were. Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
I think I was 16, 17 at that stage, and I was so naive that, like, okay, obviously I'd heard the hype of, like, we're playing Cork this week, and, like, I don't think we'd actually won a match up until we played Cork, like, and I still was kind of going down on the bus, and like, Jesus, like, we probably actually win today, and we lost by 40 points, and it was literally it was a rude awakening to, like, how far off the mark we really were, like.
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah.
And I remember it was on Tina G as well.
It was,
yeah.
Tina
G, televised.
Yeah,
because
I remember specifically.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on, yeah.
I was just saying, there was a thing published, I can't remember what newspaper it was at the end of the year. It was like Meath in numbers, and it was like number 40, and it was like the amount that the senior women's like lost by this year. And I was like, why is this being published? I was like, nobody needs a reminder of that day. Like, everyone is well aware of how bad that day was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing it, but I went looking, as you said, Sarah, yeah, it was on TG Carr. So unfortunately, finding the highlights was actually a bit easier than I thought. So it was a pretty one side. It was easy for the cameraman, in fairness, no offense, but the cameraman just had to look one side for this half and the other side for this half. So yeah, it was a strange one. You've had recently, Sarah, you've had experience against the Cork crowd. You lost out to Donamore, wasn't it? Was it the junior?
Still sore. I'm not going to lie, a year on.
Was it just their experience, or?
Yeah, I think they just had that little bit more in the last 10 minutes to hold on to the ball, because we hit the post twice for goals, like, in the last 10 minutes, and it was just Raina Buckley was just holding on to the ball. And you just trying to foul.
Wouldn't be the first time, yeah.
You just couldn't get the ball. Yeah, it was just. I still look back, and that's still one of the most devastating defeats ever, because it was only a point, like, and you had the chances to win it, which was to make it worse. And then the day went on to win it too. It just shows you how close you actually were, like.
Yeah.
But, like, the whole experience of that, like, going down to Cork, staying the night. You wouldn't get to do that with club, and it was really nice. So.
Yeah, that's deadly. Yes, Shauna, when you were made vice captain, was that one of the highlights of the career to date so far?
I don't know. I don't know if I call it a highlight. Not in a bad way. I don't know. I suppose that's a very personal thing. And any of the highlights I would consider would be, any big team win had, like. So while it was really nice to be chosen, and of course, like, I was happy to take on that role. I don't know if I call it a highlight, but yeah, it is definitely nice. And it was so easy to work with Moira as well. She was fantastic captain. So
she's some woman to talk as well.
She got a bit of stick on Twitter. There was a good tweet after
I saw
final.
It, yeah.
Vikki retweeted it, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us, Vikki?
He was like, this Meath captain started the speech before COVID-19 or something, and then I replied saying that she was still going like 3 days later. So
yeah, in fairness to her, you seize the moment, and she absolutely seized that moment and every other moment around it. So yeah, in fairness to her, I think if I was in her position, I would have done the same thing. I would have just been like, you're not taking,
dead right,
like Joey and Friends, to try and take the microphone off me when he's making a speech. I would have been like, no, I'm keeping this. So yeah. Vikki, how do you find the work and stuff you've done with TG Carter?
Yeah, I suppose I think personally it was just a great opportunity. I probably hadn't, apart from the last year or so, I probably hadn't spoken much Irish since my Leaving Cert. But look, any chance to better my Irish and further my Irish, I think it's a great opportunity, and it kind of showed me the opportunities maybe that I'd overlooked that Irish can kind of give me. So it's definitely something I'm trying to improve at the moment as well. And I know after TG Carter, people text me saying, "Wow, your Irish is so good," and all I could think of was like, "Oh God, there's a grammar mistake or there's that." But definitely, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, it's all about the flow though. When you're talking, people I don't think care too much about the grammar mistakes, anyway. And how did you find you had the longest humanly possible commute for a game from Australia? How did that go for you, or how was the time in Australia at the combine?
It was short. It was 4 days. It was probably the shortest time I could have imagined being in Australia for the flight length. But I suppose it was tough flying back for the club final, and then tough losing it as well. I probably overthought it after that. Kind of, was it the right decision to go over, and did I make a wrong choice or something like that? I actually ended up missing our semi-final because it was supposed to be on the Saturday evening, and I was supposed to fly it. It was supposed to be on Saturday, and I was supposed to fly it Saturday evening after it. And then it got changed to Monday last minute. So obviously that was a tough decision as well. The fact that the flights were booked and people kind of depended on me. So it was a tough decision to make. And I nearly was getting a bit emotional telling the girls, my club girls, on Thursday evening that I was going. I kind of hadn't said anything about it. I didn't want to distract from the goal that we'd set ourselves. But it was definitely tough after we'd lost. It kind of maybe took away from the novelty of getting to go over there and getting to experience that. I probably didn't appreciate it as much as I could have because of the situation of the club final. But I suppose we rectified that this year, so it's good to have done that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What was the experience out there like, even if it was a 4-day stint?
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was nice to see. It was nice to get a comparison of the level of kind of to see how elite GAA is in comparison to, let's say, a semi-professional sport. So there was certain tests that, maybe we don't have access to do at the moment, just with the funding and stuff like that. But I definitely don't think we're far behind in terms of how county teams are being approached at the moment. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah, that's the same vibe I got. I had Ailish Considine on and Chrissy McCaig as well, a former Sydney Swan. So yeah, they basically said it's GA's professional in all but name in some ways. So yeah, it's good to hear. Yeah, kind of consistent. So who would you say, Sarah, you can pick club or county here, who's the toughest opponents you've ever come up against that you can think of?
I just when she got to Player of the Year the other day, Amy Mackin, I remember marking her in like an under 21 blitz when it was on, and I just thinking, I was like, oh wow, never ever would I think of catching her, like, to be able to mark her. Like, I just thought she was class. Like, her movement and the way she carries the ball is incredible. Like. Yeah,
definitely. What about you, Shauna? Who's your toughest?
I'm thinking back to that day in Cork. We lost by 40 points. And
you mentioned that, not me now. I stopped mentioning it years ago. So
I think Anya Terry O'Sullivan might have scored about 6 goals that day. I think I might have supposed to be marking her. So she was fairly good. She's the one that springs to mind.
Okay, we'll take her. And Vikki, what about you?
I suppose maybe not someone I'd usually mark, but I've always just admired Jersey McLaughlin. You know, she somehow always manages to squeeze in a goal at any time of a match, and it could be through 5-10 people. I just think she has such an eye for goals. So yeah, she's definitely someone that I look up to and try maybe take a few hinters from what she's doing.
Okay, sounds good. And I suppose the three of you here and the rest of the panel aren't here to defend themselves, but in training, who's most likely to start a row at training? Could be the three of you now.
I'm going to go straight at, well, I'm not giving myself, I'm going to go for I'm going to go for an EBG.
That's who came to my head. I was like, Vikki or an EBG.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So okay, you're in agreement here. Okay. So.
I would agree with the girls, probably, or Shauna, Vikki or an EBG.
But in fairness, now, we rarely row at training. Very rarely.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We get on very well.
Okay, yeah,
it's more of a slagging, like you won't get given out to you, you'll just get slagged for the rest of the training. Shauna gets a nice slagging of if we're doing backs and forwards and stuff like that, and if you kind of say 2 on, 2 off, you swap in, you swap out. It's kind of like Shauna's looking around and be like, anyone want to swap out? Anyone want to take a break? And it's like Shauna has hand up, she's ready to take a break. So that's what Shauna gets some stick for.
Or Shauna getting awful abuse here. God, I was going to ask what's the atmosphere like on the panel, like when you've got such a mix, like, of, you know, big clubs like Na Fianna and Navan, Dunboyne, like you've got a lot of top clubs in the county all coming together. Is the atmosphere generally pretty good, or is it just abuse Shauna and then, you know, everyone else is okay?
No, I think in fairness, sorry, Vikki, we get on very well. Like, everyone gets on very well. There's sort of, a lot of us have been around like for a good few years now, so we know each other well at this stage. Sure, of course, there's a lot of slagging that goes on, but that's all part and parcel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a seriously good bond within the group. I think like that, everyone's well able to have a laugh and a joke, but then I think once training starts, everyone is fairly serious, and I think there's definitely been a step up in training this year, and I know we're going to have to step it up again this year now for coming into senior, but I think there's a really good mix in the fact that we can have the best crack, but then also take it seriously as well.
Have you earmarked anybody at senior level who you're kind of like, we want to have a crack at them? Is there anyone in particular who stood out for you, or is it just you're just mad to have a go at everyone?
I think it's been up with the extra challenge of being senior, that, you know, you're coming up against teams that are physically good, physically fit, like, where maybe in the intermediate for the last few years you might have met a few teams that, like, we would have known inside out, so you're kind of coming up against fresh teams that you have to look at tactically as well.
Does it change the training regime and stuff for you? Does it become that much tougher, or is it just keep to the system that's worked?
I think
it's maybe about
no, go.
I was just thinking it's more about I think it's more to do with physicality that we'll be trying to increase now in the next year or two. Like, I think even watching how games are refereed, I think a lot more gets let go in senior. I think that's one thing I've taken from it, and definitely the step up to Division 2. Like, there's a lot of senior teams in that, and I think that will really stand to us. You know, we were playing against the likes of Cavan, Armagh, Monaghan, Tyrone this year or last year even, and I think those matches probably are what helped us drive on last year. I think you kind of know what to expect, and if you're going to be pushed off a ball, you're going to be pushed off a ball, and that's how the game's going to go. So I think that will be the main thing that we're trying to work towards this year.
Yeah, no, 100%. You took the words out of my mouth. But definitely the physicality, I think, is going to be something that we have to get used to. It's definitely going to be a step up. And as regards training, I think, continue doing what we're doing, but try and up at another level, I think. Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah. And what about one of the most important parts that everyone's talked about so far in all the chats? What's been the best celebrations that you can remember?
I have to say, losing the All-Ireland 2019, I actually don't think I've ever had as much crack like the days after. I think it was a mix of, we went to that pub in Ashburn, what is it, Molly's, whatever it was, and I actually think it was like purgatory. Like, I felt like I didn't know what was happening. Like, it was 2:00 in the day and it was just pitch black, and like we were literally in like candle lights for some reason, and then stemmed the what's a continuing joke was the blowing championships of who could try blow out all the candles at the same time. Like, it was a strange one. I think obviously it was mixed emotions of people being absolutely devastated, but then I think the fact that we were all together and stuff like that, it was that was definitely good crack, even though we'd lost the final anyway.
Yeah. Shauna or Sarah? The one that stands out. Shauna, you're definitely
Just
thinking of the corner there.
I just think carrying on from that one that Vikki said, I just remember being in the art bar and shopping after and Mary Kate dancing with the brush, like it was just things like that it was just great crack, like.
Is that genuine brush dancing or she just decided?
Yeah, she does. No, she does.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, class. Oh, deadly. Oh, definitely should have brought her on for some brush dancing. Yeah, I haven't seen that in ages. So what about you, Shauna, if any in particular you can remember?
Yeah, I was going to say when we lost 2018, because it was our first year getting to Grove Park, so we were just so excited, and we just lost the run of ourselves that night. Like, we lost it.
Yeah, I think I actually would have been a bit scared if we'd been in normal times to see how this year would have stemmed out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think some people would have survived. Like, so.
You haven't gone out the road of stealing flower pots out of nightclubs or fighting over snack boxes or anything like that, no?
No,
we're so civilized.
Yeah, no, that's impressive. Yeah, you sound so civilized. Yeah, deep down you're going, I can't remember, but we probably did.
There's a few things I'd say hidden underneath the teacups and the pictures in the arch bar from a few days of Michelle Peel. That's years ago now. Michelle Peel writing down her goals and hiding them under the teacups on top of the what are they called? The little bar things in the arch bar. And I think we found them a few years later. I think Schieffer found a few of them. So there's a few of them hidden. Sure, there's still a few hidden gems in the arch, to be fair.
Wow. Okay, I should send someone in to have a look for those. Definitely. Yeah. The last question then I asked before we have a go to quick fire round, and it's the most vital question out of them all. Sarah, have you ever won anything in the local club lotto?
I actually didn't in the Matney's one, but I won the Simon Stone one there about 2 years ago.
Oh, brilliant.
My man is doing it just like because I actually live close enough to Simonstown, and the one from Simonstown rang me to say that I won it, so I'll take that one.
Brad,
but the Matney's one is quite high at the minute, so. Okay,
that's good. Yeah, because I had Mickey Burke and Sean Tobin on there the other week, and Sean had won it, and I think in the Simonstown one. So I'll have to pass it on. I have to text him and tell him you've won it instead. So, Sean, what about you? Have you won anything in a Fianna one?
I've won a few match trees in the Rathmaline one.
Okay,
yeah.
Take that.
My dad is chairperson though, so it could be a bit dodgy.
Inside job, yeah. I've had a few people say that as well, yeah. And Vikki, what about the Dunboyne one?
No, nothing won yet. I know we've a few tickets bought for the Nissan that's being drawn. I think next week in the March for Dunboyne. So fingers crossed now for that one. I think we've about 5 or 6 tickets between the senior ladies team. So now it'll be fingers crossed that we can win that one. That'd be a nice one.
Yeah. Okay. So Sarah, I'm adding you to the list of winners because it just went on a big long streak of no, and then I was voted the best seller in the club. That was the first one. Then Zach Moradi came on and announced that he won $4,500 in the Thomas Davis one, and then shared $7,500 in it as well. And then the next one I got, which is my absolute favorite, is somebody won a sheep. So somewhere in between the sheep and Zach Moradi's, I'm going to maybe just below the sheep. I'll put in yours in a close third place at the moment. So
I think the sheep wins.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it does. Yeah, to be honest. So the last part then, if you're happy enough to have a go at it one by one, is the quick fire round. But as I said, look, there's no pressure. If you're like, I'm not sure, you can just pass on it either. So, Sarah, I'm going to start with you because I always start in the corner. So I'm going to start in the right corner on my screen here. So the advantage is to Shauna and Vikki because you're the guinea pig who has to answer the questions first. And Shauna's absolutely thrilled with life there, yeah. Sarah, what's your favourite ground you've ever played on?
Oh, Crow Park.
Crow Park. Least favourite ground?
Oh, I'd say... Oh God!
If I help you out, the common answer with this one is the back pitch. Seems to be the common answer for everybody. So
yeah, I would say the pitch we played. Remember? Or no, we warmed up on that. But yeah, one of the pitches we played on in the winter. There's been a few to manage the name. I'd say.
Fair enough. Yeah, take that. Short kick out or long kick out?
Oh, long.
Drive it
long.
Short
can be a bit risky sometimes.
Okay. As a supporter, would you prefer the tea and the ham sandwiches out of the boot of the car or the pre-match pub?
Oh, pre-match pub.
Pre-match pub. You have a choice of one from the famous GAA selection of hats, flags, scarves, or headbands. You can pick one.
Oh, I'd have to say headbands because we have a heap of them here at home.
Good stuff. Marty or Des?
Marty.
Your favourite pundit on telly from any sport, male or female?
Oh, I don't know.
You can pass if you don't like anybody.
Oh no, Anthony Daly, because I'm actually reading his book at the minute and I'm very interested in it, so I'm going to go in.
Good, to take that. The funniest or strangest thing that's ever been shouted at you from a sideline. I love when I ask every question that Shauna's in the corner going, "Oh God."
Trying to think of some good answers.
I'm not. Yeah, I can't think of anyone for that.
Okay, you can come back to it at the end if you think of anything.
Yeah.
If there was a GAA transfer market in the morning, who would be the one player you'd bring in onto the Meath team?
Oh, there'd be a few, maybe one or two.
To replace Shauna Ennis.
To replace Shauna Ennis?
No, it doesn't have to be.
I suppose you'd bring in Amy Mackin just for her. How class she is.
Okay, good stuff. Studs or moles?
Oh, at the minute I'm wearing studs, but I'd always go moldies.
Okay, your favourite boots?
Predators.
Sweeper or no sweeper?
Sweeper. That's Shauna's job.
Okay, favourite sport outside of the gym?
Ooh, probably the gym. That's probably my only... To watch rugby, but to do anything else, gym.
Okay, second last one, your favourite holiday ever?
Favourite holiday?
Yeah.
It'd probably be New York, 2018.
Okay, and the last one, which is a tough one, the best GAA player ever in your lifetime?
That I've witnessed, is it?
Witnessed or, just even seen on telly or played against, doesn't matter.
I would go Stephen Bray, because he was someone I idolised growing up. He's from my club, and just when he got the All-Star, and he was someone I idolised, so I'd go with him.
Hat-trick against Dublin.
Yeah, I just think class.
Okay, nice one. Yeah, thanks for that. Shauna, favourite ground?
Gonna go with Park Talton.
Park Talton, okay. The worst ground or least favourite ground?
Back pitch in Boardsmill.
Okay. Short kick out or long kick out?
Short.
Oh. As a supporter, tea and ham sandwiches or the pre-match pub?
Tea and ham sandwiches.
Okay. Hats, flags, scarves or headbands?
Flag.
Marty or Des?
Marty.
Favourite pundit on TV?
This is a bit of a weird one. Boris Becker.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, good tennis player. He is a bit mental as well. The funniest or strangest thing ever shouted at you from the sideline?
That's a tough one.
I've had some cracking ones as well. Like Eddie O'Sullivan on the Up to Our team, who was fullback, said he turned up so hungover for a match one day. A manager just said to him at halftime, just walk off. He wasn't subbing him, he just said walk off. So there's a lot of things, yeah.
I have been told like a few times I've turned up hungover and I've sort of been told just stand there, and I've been okay with that.
Make up the numbers, okay. Yeah, good stuff. If there was a GAA transfer market in the morning, who would you buy in?
Tricky one again. I think I might get in. I'm going to bring sisters. I'm going to bring Neve and Grace Kelly from Mayo because I would have played college then.
Okay,
so,
good stuff. Yeah, I take that. Your favourite boots?
Copa Mundials.
Nice. Studs or moles?
All depends on the weather.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah.
As Vikki well knows and agrees.
Sweeper, no sweeper. How many sweepers?
Me. I'm the sweeper.
Yeah. Just one. Okay, I'll take that. One. Favorite sport outside the GAA?
To watch tennis.
Okay. Favorite tennis player?
Male, Roger Federer. Very typical answers. Female, Serena Williams.
Okay, yeah. No, I just asked because my cousin in Adelaide grew up playing with Leighton Hewitt. That's why I was wondering, was it any...
Oh, unbelievable,
interesting, yeah. Second last one, the best holiday you've ever had?
I think Australia, 2018.
Nice. And tough one, the best GAA player ever in your opinion? Now, you've had the advantage over poor Sarah, who I was put on the spot, so...
Yeah. That's a tough one as well. I'm going to go for a Mayo man because my mom's from Mayo.
Okay.
Kieran MacDonald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Some wand of a left foot.
Unbelievable,
okay. Yeah. Okay, cross my line, man. I'll take that. And Vikki, we finish off with you. Pressure's on here because
no pressure now.
Yeah.
Better be quick.
Sarah and Sean are judging you here in the corner now. So, your favourite ground?
I won't, apart from the wine, because that is obviously my favourite one that I like. I like Ratoath as well. I think it's a good pitch.
Okay. Least favourite?
Nafina.
Love it. Good shout. Short kick out or long kick out? Bearing in mind who your sweeper is.
Long all day.
Yeah.
Long
yeah.
all day.
I was going to say, yeah. As a supporter, you prefer the tea and ham sandwiches or the pre-match pub?
Definitely pre-match pub.
Hats, flags, scarves or headbands?
Headbands.
Marty or Des?
Marty.
Favourite pundit on telly in any sport?
Well, I just had to ask his name, so probably not my favourite, but maybe Chris Kamara. I always get a good laugh out of him.
Oh, good old Cammy, yeah, can't beat him. The funniest or strangest thing ever shouted at you from a sideline? As in get off the pitch. I don't know,
that's a tough one. There's been some strange things. God, nothing's jumping out to me at the moment. I'm sure I'll think of it after this.
That's all right, I'll come back to that after. If there was a GAA transfer market in the morning, who would you bring in for Meath? You might need a second sweeper, who knows?
We've enough of them. I think at the moment Jennifer Dunn she's playing unbelievable, so I bring her in. She's a serious engine in midfield. Okay,
good stuff. Favourite boots?
Same as Shauna, Copa Mondial.
Okay, should I ask the next one, studs or moles?
Well, me and Shauna have a firm belief. We're always checking who's wearing studs, who's on or moldies on a rainy day. It's my pet peeve. Like if I see someone falling, Katie New will know that. I'm like I forced her to buy a pair of studs, so I'll go with studs.
Okay. Sweeper or no sweeper, or how many sweepers do you need to cover Shauna when she goes marauding up the pitch?
We'll go with no sweeper.
No sweeper, okay. She doesn't look too insulted, to be honest, now in the corner. She's kind of like, what about it? Your favourite sport outside the GAA?
I like watching tennis as well, yeah, I'd have to say.
Okay. Best holiday you've ever been on? I don't think 4 days in Australia counts, does it? It was more work.
No, I won't give that. I'd say skiing.
Skiing, okay, nice. And where was the skiing, actually, out of interest?
France.
Okay, nice. And the $1 million question, the best GAA player ever in your lifetime? It can be Shauna Ennis or Sarah Powderly either. So,
I'll do both. I'll say male Colin Cooper and female Bree Stack.
Okay, brilliant. Yes, the Gooch. Yeah, okay, great choices. Yeah, I'll add them to the list. So, have I missed, before I finish up and let you go, have I missed any other fantastic celebration stories that you were thinking of? Sean, I saw your eyes going up like this all the time. You were thinking there's probably some great stories in there.
Some things are too good to share.
Yeah, I thought that. All right.
I think we'll stick with that answer. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, Vikki, Shauna, Sarah, look, it's been incredible having you on. You're so good to give up your time, and I really appreciate it. And I hope when things get back to normal that we'll see you guys back on the TV and on the pitch again. And yeah, I won't be reigniting my 3-month career that I had playing in the Meath Junior B Championship several years ago, but the best of luck when Championship and all that comes around. And thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and the best of luck. And don't come up against Westmeath next year, please. In anything, I know you won't in senior, but just don't go near us. Just leave us alone, all right? We've had enough. Thanks a million, guys, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks a million.
Thanks so much.
Mind yourself. Yeah, take it easy.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye.
Coming up next week on the Loaf of Bread GAA podcast, we cut into our next slice.
Leinster were kind of tracking him the past few weeks in the cup competition, and Garvin Dempsey actually came down to he was scouting in 19 at the time for Leinster, and he came down and we played an ace anyways, but I ended up actually having a really good game and scored the winning try. But Garvin actually came back this following Tuesday night. We got word that he didn't want Robert, he actually wanted me to go up for the trial. So lo and behold, anyways, I went up for 2 trials up to Donnybrook, and talk about being out of my comfort zone completely. I going up to Donnybrook, and I in a pair of GAA shorts and GAA socks, and the best of rugby lads all around Leinster.
On Slice 15, I chat with Road and Offaly football captain and member of the Irish Defence Forces, the gentleman himself, Anton Sullivan. We chat everything from working in the Lebanon with the Defence Forces, owning ace performance and recovery with a few other lads, giving lifts to the legendary supporter Mick McDonough, the loss of road jockey Pat Smullen, his trial with Leinster Rugby, winning a county semi-final on penalties, and much, much more. He really is a star. Join us next Thursday from 9 a.m. Until next week,
Take your points and your goals will come. Slán